Hey guys, welcome back to CLOCKWISE Crypto. Hope you guys are moving forward in everything that you do. Diving right into it here. Well, I was talking about SUI the other day, and when we were talking about it, I was saying how I'm not buying at the all-time high. Okay, I'm not buying anywhere near the all-time high, as it just created one, and we see exactly what happened. Pullback. Okay, guys. So I was getting grinded up. You guys are giving me a hard time about, oh, well, this happened. I missed out on this project, and it kept going up. I'm like, if it keeps going up, it keeps going up. Either way, wait for a pullback. Like, that's the logic. And then I had people say, oh, what about dollar cost averaging? You guys know good and well, when there's FOMO, most people are not dollar cost averaging into the markets. Okay. Like 99% of people are going to dump a load into the market, and it's going to pull back like this. They're going to get scared. They're going to sell, and just most of them never come back to the markets again. Right. So the reason behind and the why behind the principle of not buying near all-time highs is because things like this. There's always a pullback. I'm not saying a correction. I'm not saying it's a pump and dump. There's always a pullback. Some type of retracement is what we call it in the trading world for price. So that's what we see here. We haven't changed our chart, but I just wanted to preface that because a lot of guys are giving me a hard time. They're giving me a hard time talking about, oh, well, what if it never pulls back? If it never pulls back, it never pulls back. Either way, wait for a pullback. Not financial advice. It's just what we do. All right. So this is a prime example as to why we did not touch SUI. Prime example as to why. You can see it. It pumped up. Now we're pulling back. And, now it's decision time. So just what we do, and kind of wanted to explain that during this video because we caught a lot of flack for it, but that's the why. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a correction. 9 times out of 10, you have an opportunity to get in at a better price point. Okay. The same people, I had a friend, buddy that bought Bitcoin when it shot up to 20,000. He bought in about 19,000, pulled all the way back to 3. On that way back to 3, he sold at about 15. Okay. Why? Because he bought at the all-time high. He bought FOMO. Okay. Do not buy the FOMO. Do not. So take a look here. Bitcoin breaking out of the channel. Okay. Breaking out of this channel. I can't even move it to make it look good. It's out. It's a break. It's breaking out. This candle's out right now. But I want to see a break and close above 70,500. Like I told you guys, in order for us to truly be ready to go parabolic, guys. Now I told you, I think you have about 2 weeks. I think you have until November 5th. I truly believe that. I think you have time. Not much time, but we've been talking about this for a while. Not much time, but some time nonetheless to get your stuff together. So that's where we're at. Putting it in here so everyone can see. 70,500 is the level we need to pay attention to. A break above there is confirmation. It's go time, and you're gonna see a true bull. You're gonna see something that we've never even seen before. Like, I've seen bull markets, right? And I think this one's going to be a lot special because I told you guys institutional money is in it now. So I think it's going to be a little bit different. But I think it's more important, like I said before, have your exit strategy. Have your exit strategy. Do not be like a lot of us. And I got out a lot. I didn't get out fully. I had some exposure, but I got out most of my holdings at one point. But a lot of my peers and a lot of my friends, they held and rode it all the way down, and they've been just waiting ever since, guys. So have your exit strategy so you're not sitting, dangling on a string for 2 years. So, be ready for that. About 1.5 years, 2 years. Yeah. So be ready for that. And, I'm excited. So I took a look at SUI, now going to crypto bubbles, a lot of corrections, but this is normal. This is normal. So, not too worried, very excited though to see, what's to come. So, very excited nonetheless. Wanted to talk about Hedera. So I know we looked at Hedera, and we see Hedera, and we see, you know, the price action that we've seen for a while. And I know Hedera hasn't been talked about a lot, and that's a good thing. I just want to say that's a good thing, because 9 times out of 10, all these projects that have the most hype that everyone's talking about online, or even, you know, that's trending, aren't going to be what's popping during the bull run. I remember Dogecoin. Okay. You had some Dogecoin believers, but it wasn't talked about until it popped, and that's when it was too late. That's how and the same thing with Cardano. Cardano went to 3 cents, and it was just like, yep, it's dead. Oh yeah, it's dead, and then boom. Okay, and I think that's what we're gonna see, because I remember we had EOS. People that loved EOS didn't perform well. What was other ones like U-Trust and a ton of solid projects that were talked about. I think we even have some that we invested in. Like, you still made gains. The gains were still there, but the gains really came from the projects that everyone thought was dead. I'm just being honest, and HBAR is one of those, I believe. And I'm thinking back on other projects like that were really booming. There was a security project, a privacy coin. I think it's still around. I forget its name. It's not coming to me. The privacy coin, and it was killing it, and it just didn't do well. VeChain was around back then, but VeChain wasn't that popular, but it was around. I forget the name. MakerDAO was around, and it was still pricey like it is now. MakerDAO was around, and I forget the name of this privacy coin. It's gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna put in the link in the comment. If I can't remember it during this video, there goes EOS. EOS is 93 now. So EOS used to be expensive. EOS used to be toe to toe with Cardano. It used to be always a little bit more than Cardano. So I guess it is now. It still is, just market cap wise. It's just down there. There was this privacy coin, and we can actually just look up privacy coins because it's gonna bother me. They don't even have it as a section now, as a category. But there was a privacy coin that was just like, everyone was just so bullish on privacy coins, privacy, right? And I'm thinking like everything's private until it's not. So we worried about the privacy, and then like everything is private. You know, it's private until they hold the ability to make it not private anymore, right? So I'm actually gonna look it up because it's driving me crazy right now that I can't think about it. Monero, that was it. Monero and Zcash. Monero and Zcash were major players in the bull run. When I got into crypto, they were major players, and so I don't even know where Monero is right now, but I think Monero's still around. Oh, it's 32, so Monero's still up there, but just not talked about as much. And I felt like this is when I got into crypto. Okay, so like Monero went from, I got into crypto like towards the end of 17. So I saw Monero go from like $80 up to about 400 something. Yeah, Monero was up to $500. Yep. So that was right. So I saw that happen. So Monero was like going crazy. And then only to like the next bull run, it didn't even clear. It went to $400, but it didn't like continue to like thrive. You still make gains though, and that's the thing that I wanted to just highlight. Like last bull run, no one was really talking about Monero, but you can see the gains from the bottom, $45 to $400. You still 10x'd. Okay. So I'm just giving you that preface, that outlook, that just because I'm gonna be honest with you, the projects that were talked about the most did terrible. Not terrible, but just didn't really meet expectations. The projects that were really killing it were the ones that you thought that were dead. Like you thought they were not going to be around anymore. You thought that they just were not it. And I think that's what we're going to see again. Like we're going to see projects come come up, like for example, Tone Coin. Okay, we're gonna see potentially Tone Coin come up, and there's gonna be all these high expectations because it's in the top 10, but it's not gonna. It may not perform the way we think, but you'll see a project maybe like Avalanche that doesn't really have the same momentum, the same hype behind it, and just completely destroy it. So that's the things that I've seen in bull runs and previous bull runs. It's always the underdogs, the ones that made the team, right? They made the team, they signed a contract, and there's minimal expectations, but they end up on the all-star team and end up being in the Hall of Fame. Okay, that's what I've seen in crypto. So just be mindful of that. Like Dogecoin was one of those. Like Dogecoin, there were people talking about Dogecoin. Peter Saddington was on YouTube talking about Dogecoin forever, right? And so I'm listening to him talk about Dogecoin since 2017. So it's under a penny, only for it to erupt and create so many millionaires, okay, in 4 years. So it was a sleeper. There wasn't too many Dogecoin. There was a handful, but it was nowhere near like what we're seeing with Solana, nowhere near what we're seeing with some of these other projects. So that's why I look at Hedera and I see pretty much the same outlook. Like there's not a lot of buzz around it. And I don't think there should be, because the market's been pulling back. A lot of people are talking about the markets, right? I don't think there should be. I would be concerned if Hedera, I have a concern if HBAR, the token, would be pumping while everything else is dumping. Okay? Everything's been falling off a cliff. So I don't think, I've read an analysis on HBAR, and I don't think the analysis is fair when you're comparing HBAR's performance during pretty much a bear market. Like it didn't really erupt yet. So, could they do better with marketing? Yes. But I think from a tech standpoint, from a partnership standpoint, I think they're set up for success. And I think the price, the risk to reward ratio, looking at HBAR is almost a no-brainer. Okay. Because as I said, even if it gets to its all-time high, 50 cents. Okay. If it gets to its all-time high, 5 cents to 50 cents. That means you can flip $5,000 to $50,000. Okay, that's 10x. Just getting to your all-time high. So, and that's with zero mark. That's with doing terrible at marketing, but having that cult-like following, but don't really have the hype yet. And that's what I like to see. I don't like to see all the hype until it's too late, and then I'll sell while everyone else is buying. And that's how it works, right? That's how it works. Cardano did the same thing. Cardano was at 3 cents in, I want to say 2019, shot down to 3 cents. And I think we can actually just pull it up here on CoinMarketCap. Cardano shot down to 3 cents, and it was just considered dead. Nothing around. We see here went down to 3 about here. So 2018, end of 2018. So December 2018, went down to 3 cents. Everyone says it's dead. Oh my goodness. It was up to $1 at the end of the bull run. It hit $1. Now it's down to 3 cents. It's crazy swings, only to shoot up to $3 with the same bias that it has now. Everyone's like, oh, it's dead. The same thing. So I'm following that pattern of essentially being the underdog, but having no reason to be labeled an underdog because they don't have the hype. And by the time they get the hype, it's too late. So I'm really paying attention to projects that do not have that hype, have that cult-like following, but don't really have the hype on a macro standpoint. Don't have that push where everyone's diehard. Cardano does have that. HBAR does not have that. Okay. So I like the price, I like the tech, and I think there's some serious, there is a cult-like following surrounding Hedera, and I think that sky's the limit with Hedera. We'll see. I think a lot of people are starting to sleep on it, and that's what I like. That's when I really get excited. When people are sleeping on the project, that's when I get excited. I don't like following the FOMO, only because it doesn't really end well. It doesn't really end well. Think about it. Think about all the projects that you've dived into and you thought this was it, this is it, and it just never performed. Like XRP would be one, but XRP performed at one time, but it hasn't performed, but it had all the hype in the world. We can say Hex never really performed, but had all the hype. Hedera does not have the hype yet, and that's where the opportunity is. Okay. Cardano at this point does not have the hype, and that's where the opportunity is. Ethereum doesn't have the hype. That's where the opportunity is. So that's one thing I want everyone to take away from this video. Do not follow the hype, because that's when the FOMO comes. And I haven't really seen many people make significant money following the FOMO. I've seen people make money following the underdogs. So I think that would be the greatest wisdom I can give you, having been in a few bull markets now. I would say that is the common theme. The underdogs are the ones who perform the best. And, yes, there will be some unicorns in there, but for the most part, the underdogs are the ones that are giving life-changing gains for you to essentially be financially free, guys. So hope you guys got some value out of this video. Keep moving forward in everything that you do. We'll see you soon.